It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
Let's go.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline, it's complete, an athletic grab, but still well short of the first. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep is Steven Sims. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading him out is their 6'3" quarterback, the 3rd overall selection in 2018, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Darnold. Smith and Jigba with a grab. Here's 3rd and 7. Now it's Darnold. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? What the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll toss this out right to Walker.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Big play from a big man. Kayvon Thibodeau off the edge and dropping him behind the line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Off of play action, Darnold. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a 3rd down, felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Here's Walker.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it, because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free, and those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw.
Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
That is caught.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Tracy going to get it on first down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Slayton.
And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for the Giants. 54 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
1st and goal from the 3.
They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked by Julian Love. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here's Darnold. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
No score after one on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. To the right side, this is Walker. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Steps away to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
Well, hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Darnold now to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Myers' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw.
There's a short one to the tight end, Jaxson.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
In motion, Slayton. They'll go again with Tracy.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here.
That's to the sideline and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Brian Burns, the one to bring him down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
A give for Walker running right to about the 40-yard line.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
He'll get that to Charbonnet. Finding room at midfield.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Valdez-Scantling. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 37 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Giants ready to come out now. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3.
He'll look to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's complete to Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Second down and 8.
They'll look to throw again.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Back to throw again.
This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Giants are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold.
Outright to Smith and Jigba.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. A final shot before the break. Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Sam Darnold headed back out there. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Faking the give, Darnold.
Finding Smith and Jigba downfield.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This 2nd and 4.
In motion goes the tight end. Off of play action, Darnold.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Jaxson, Smith, and Jigba.
28 yards.
And the Seahawks are able to add on to that lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jaxson, Smith, and Jigba touchdown catch.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
On the return is Sims.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Seahawks offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Trying the left side with Walker. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Back to Walker on 1st down. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Right back to Tracy. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down.
So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the 2nd half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the 1st, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Going right side, he finds Slayton. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Third and 4.
Back to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On the give, it's Tracy.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. They'll hand it to Tracy.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's complete to Slayton. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Running left is Tracy.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
Back to throw here. He finds his man Jaxson. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10.
Now Darnold.
He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold.
We'll get that to Charbonnet.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him. Let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
He completes this to Walker.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Play action. It's Darnold.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Darnold now to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 76 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
And Walker once more.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
They'll look to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw.
Connecting with Jaxson.
And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
He's back to throw.
This is Robinson.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understand where they are in the field?
Here's 1st down.
Back to throw.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Inside, a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
They'll look to throw again.
He's got Jaxson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down.
Catch made by Slayton. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.